See the address? Look at this one. 2103.
2102.
What's up, peoples? You already know it's your boy, the Latin Assassin, Big Lou, tapping back in. But what it do with Big Lou and NCR2, baby, baby. Wow. 2108. No R. So for any reason, any reason if you guys end up not, the reception is not working well here, I'm on top of I'm in the hills over here in San Jose. Could be the reason why. Okay, it's all right there. And if you guys hear the flashers, I it's part of the job. I gotta do it. So bothering you guys, but bear with me, and also bear with me if we have any issue with the reception. As soon as I get to the area, I'll, back in. And we can kick this mofo off like on the West Wednesday, West Side, West Coast Wednesday, however you want to say it, or What's Up Wednesday. You know what I mean? Is what it is. But you know, if it's the first time you're coming here, it'd be highly appreciated if you like to share the channel with your family, friends, folks, people, gente, buddies, pals, amigos, amicos, and like us, Puertorriqueños, Boricuas, Jibaritos, Potorros, PRs, Rican say, panas. So yeah, what's up, Goyo? Today's my birthday. Send me a birthday shout out. Hey, feliz cumpleaños to the homie de Salas, Mr. Gregorio Longoria. Happy birthday, big fella. And hopefully, God willing, many more to come. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do it. See. So yeah, I want to make something clear here because I know I'm probably gonna get some backlash for it, which I really don't give a fuck. But I know what I said and I know what I was part of. So I joined a live stream a little bit ago, and you know, content creator was going after another content creator. Now people know how I feel about certain words being used, you know, but I'm not gonna tell somebody else what to say on their channel. You know what I mean? I just don't entertain that part of anything. You know what I'm saying? And also, you know, I made it clear that how I used to live my life was every time I used to change a building, change to another yard, change to another institution, you know, it was mandatory that those P-dubs, paperwork, had to be pulled back out again and be, you know, shot to the proper channel, right? And I'll just leave it at that. We don't need to get into what channels and who had what positions and all that. That's irrelevant to what I'm saying here. But you know what I mean? And the point that I made, only thing I made was that if I was being accused of being something, and I would do my damnedest to get whatever P-dubs or whatever that I needed to do to exonerate me and show proof that I'm not what people are calling me. You know what I mean? So I want to make that clear right now because I already know it doesn't even matter that I'm making it clear right now. It's going to be turned around and flipped anyways, because you got these funny style ass people that ain't never been about shit, ain't never been through the system, ain't never been through anything, but yet they speak real big on it like they know firsthand. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how, you know, when people go through a drug treatment facility, you know, or something like that, you know, where they have those counselors, what they don't like. You know, some of the clients don't like the counselors because, you know, they don't like the counselors because they'll say, well, they never been there and done that, so I'm not going to listen to them. They don't know what I've been through or what I'm going through. 2210, no R. You know what I mean? It kind of like falls with that, you know, where they're book smart, but not actually street smart because they lived through it. You know what I mean? So you got people that'll make videos about jail and prison and they never even been there. It's comical, man. But anyways, you know, I'm just I'm making it clear that, you know, at no time did I call anybody that, you know. Now I will say this, that, you know, the current situation doesn't look good, you know, from what they've produced. It does not look good, and it is what it is. But I've never came out saying that, oh yeah, without a doubt, that person is that person ratted. I've never said that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that's because you don't know what I'm addressing. But if those that do know will know. You know what I mean? And now I'll be the first to admit, like I just said, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. And if I was that person, I would do, like I said, what I already said, I would do my darndest to prove that I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
It's no more.
Okay, what's all right. You know what I mean? So put the next address in and let's get to it. Or you want me to go back so we can get those last ones that we went fast by? So, you know what I mean? So at sometimes here I'll be turning off the camera, so don't trip. The Wise Up Show, we got in the house. We got Tim Egan. The Wise Up Show, that's Ralph, right? I think that's Cross Guard Ralph, right? Cross Guard Ralph. See, let me get all these guys ready. So, let me get out your way. What the fuck is this dude talking about? Stay there. The fuck?
Hey, tripping up.
Yeah, let me turn around. So yeah, we got Tim Egan. What's up, Tim Egan? So yeah, so Tim Egan was there. I'm pretty sure you were still there when I just wanted to make it clear that, you know, because I already know how this is gonna go. Tim, I don't know if you just heard me talking or not, but you know, they're gonna come and say, oh, you called him a rat and you did this and did that and just said this and said that, which I didn't, you know, because not because any other reason, but because of what I believe and how I roll. You know what I'm saying? I've always been the same when it comes to it's Ralph, but no cross guard. Yeah, I know. I was just messing with you. You know, I've always been the same when it comes to you know, putting that on somebody without the proper proof. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to continue to, but I will admit, and I got no problem saying it, that what they've produced and showed thus far doesn't look good. And you know, you can't just keep saying follow the case, because you can't follow it no more. You hit a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? And only certain people, only a certain somebody can change that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. But at the same time, you know, I never said I will not put that on somebody. You know what I'm saying? I won't put that on nobody. You know, so it is what it is. Only did a few days in jail here and there. First time 1975, last time 1984. Damn, good for you. 1984, you're talking 40 years ago almost, 39 years ago. Yeah, I wish I could say the same. I lost all, 2000, half of 2005, all of 2002, part 2001, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. 2012, 2013, 2014, 2016, half of 15, and almost all of 17. And that was the last time. And then there's more than that. I just went back 15 years though, or actually I went back 20 years, but actually it goes back a few more years than that. State prison wise. Huh?
Yeah.
State prison wise, I did state prison, I did
The destination is on your left.
all right. State prison, I did 10 months with 16 months with half the first time, 2 years with half the second time, 6 years with half the third time, 4 years with half the fourth, and 4 years with half the fifth time. And then in between there, I have a year in the county, 8 months in the county, 6 months in the county a couple of times, and then I have like 3 violations, state prison violations. So I'm done with that shit, man. God willing, I never see the inside of a jail cell again, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, working to keep me from doing that shit, right? Right here, no R. What is it?
Yeah,
Got it? Okay, this one también. Oh, no, right there. So, you know, oh, let me get the thing. So, you know, I'm gonna turn the camera off for a second. People, let me know if you guys are having problems hearing me, because like I mentioned before, I don't know if you guys heard me, but I'm up in the I'm up in the hills in San Jose, California, and this might get a little, what you call it. I know you didn't, Lou. I won't go as far as saying he cooperated. It looks sketchy though. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll admit to that. You know, like I said before, but you know, I won't go as far as to say anything else. Which one am I scratching out? This one?
Yeah.
This is a court though. Or is the other one a court? Oh, okay.
My bad, people. Yeah, man. These few days I ain't did no videos, man. I'm really freaking. My numbers went down. I mean, a lot. I mean, you're talking like 20,000 views and like a couple hundred watch hours. You know, I've been just work's been really just burning me out, and you know, so I missed a lot of doing videos. I have dropped a couple shorts though in the last, you know, I think I dropped 4 shorts in the last couple of days, and I got a couple more to drop that I already recorded that helped me stay up in the game a little bit. But you know, I got to get back on the ball with this shit, man. Especially if to get these hours that I need. You know what I mean? I still need 4,000, or excuse me, 2,000 watch hours. I'm barely getting halfway there. So, but anyways, yeah, I won't go that far, like you said. But you know, from me, from the lifestyle that I lived all those years, anytime, even if I was on the same yard, but I went from this building to another building, you know, I'm going in the cell with another individual, so now I got to show my paperwork again. You know, even though I've been cleared already by my peoples, that's just the way it works. You know, back. So, you know, it's no big deal to me to keep continuing to show that paperwork. Winding, what is it? Hills? Winding right there. So it's you know, it's no big deal for me to continue to show that paperwork. You know, because for one, there's nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? And then second, you know, it's proper procedure with your peoples. You know. Keep showing that paperwork every time, you know. When you get a new cellie, you know, you don't necessarily, you know, you show it to him, give him the respect. You know, he's got to figure that, well, if he's on the yard and he's got to be good. Some guys will let that go like that, but some other guys will hit themselves, you know, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? If they want to see it themselves, just ask for it. But usually the guys will usually just have it out. 2216, yeah, either one. So yeah, so you know, so say I'm in there with a cellie, the guy goes home, or he transferred to another joint, or he gets ducketed for another yard. Sometimes you get ducketed for, like, say, a certain job or a certain program that yard might not have, but another yard has it, and you're on that list. And what they'll do is they'll send you over to that yard. So say for whatever reason my cellie leaves, you know, I get a new cellie now, I'm going to give that dude the respect and showing him my paperwork, what I'm there for, you know, as soon as he walks in. You know what I mean? As soon as he puts his bags down, you know, it'll be there for him to see. You know, and there's some guys that'll even tape it up on the wall, man, and just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? I won't go that far. I won't do that. I think that looks a little, I don't know, my opinion just looks a little weird. Not weird, but like, why put it on the wall? You know what I mean? There's no need for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know, because to me, it reminds me of a grown man putting rules on the wall. That's what it reminded me of. That's why I said it's a little weird. Not weird in terms of, you know, the reason why I'm doing it, but just there's no, I don't know. In my opinion, there's no need to put that there, you know, especially rules. Because if you're doing cell time, you should already know you don't spit in the sink. You know, you dry the sink. You don't spit in the sink. You spit in the toilet. You know, you dry your sink after using the water. You know, you wipe off the toilet seat. You wipe. Not only do you wipe the inside of the sink, but you wipe down the side of the sink. You know what I mean? Because water splashes. You know what I'm saying? 2219, no garbage. It's the same reason. You know, some guys will say this too. Oh, well, I won't do it. You know, and it's not about all that. You know, they got rules that, you know, when you pee, when you take a leak, you sit down. And there's a reason why you do that, because you're only given one roll of toilet paper a week, you know. And not only that, piss splashes. When you piss, it hits the water in the toilet and it splashes onto the floor. You know, some guys walk around their cell and they're, you know, barefooted or in their socks or whatever. Me, I don't do that. I keep my shoes on all the way, or my boots, whatever I'm wearing, until bar lock, which is 9 o'clock at night. That's just a rule that we got. We got to stay suited and booted. How much time do you have to do for a 5-year sentence? Well, it depends. If you got 5 years with half, you do half of 5 years. That'd be 30 months. If you got 5 years with 80%, then you do 80% of it. If it's 5 years with 85%, there's 3 different. Well, actually, there's 4. There's 3 sentences. There's a halftime sentence. There's a halftime sentence. There's a 80% sentence. When you get an 80%, that means that you had a previous strike. We already did this. Strike that got when you have a strike already, say you caught a 2-year term, right? That's the midterm, 16 months, 2 years, or 3 years. That's the low, mid, and high term. They'll give you the midterm, 2 years, and fill it automatically to 4 years because you had a strike on your record from the past. Okay, and then they usually add on a year prison prior. So you got 5 years instead of you doing only half. You're looking at 5 now at 80%. That's how it works. And then if it's a violent crime, you do 85%. So the reason why I said there's almost 4 sentences, and then I caught myself. What is it? 53, 67 or I was gonna say there's 4 sentences, but as far as I'm doing the time, but there's not. There's 3. And then once you get to institution, then if you're eligible for 33%, then they'll recalculate it. You'll go back to committee, 53. You'll go back to committee, and they'll give you the 33%. And so that's done by the institution. So there's actually, like I said, there's 3 time amount of time that you'll get sentenced by the judge, and it'll be either half time, 80%, or 85%. But sorry about that. I don't know. I didn't even, man, I was talking, and I didn't even realize that I wasn't there. So I don't know what you guys heard last. Can somebody tell me what they heard last? Because I said a lot. So that seems paranoid to me to be posted on the wall. Well, no, not really, because you're gonna show it anyways. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way some guys decide to do their program when it comes to that. Like I said, some guys will post rules up on the walls, you know, and what am I, a kid? You can just verbally tell me whatever your rules are if you have certain rules, and then if I don't feel that rule is cool, and then I'll let you know. Oh, hey man, I ain't gonna, that's out. I'm not doing all that, or whatever it might be. But last I was talking about was the sentencing. I almost said there's 4 sentencing, but I corrected that. There's only 3. There's a 50% sentence where you do half of your time. There's 80% and then 85. 85 means you did a violent crime. Something was actually violent that happened. 80% means that you had a previous strike. So whatever the deal was, if it was a 2-year deal, the midterm, they doubled it to 4 and then gave you a prison prior from before. So now you're doing 5 years with 80%. And then halftime is usually a non-violent case, or it's a case that you got a strike on that could have led to violence. You know what I'm saying? Like my last case, it could have led to violence. And so I got two assault with deadly weapon on police officers, but nothing actually happened. But they said, it could have happened. The street on there? What is it? Bentley. We don't have that one. I already checked it last time. Okay, so punch one in. Let's get this going. Let's see. So yeah, it's it just if you go back to, you can go to back to committee, classification committee, and if you're eligible for the 33%, your 50% will be recalculated to 33% once you get to the location that they give that out to. That'll be done at either a level 2 or a level 1 facility. They've made a lot of changes in the California Department of Corrections over the last few years. That's for sure. Laurel, where to get it, I think. So pick the biggest one, or you're gonna go that one, Arrow View. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it just depends. It depends what where you fall at on all that. But like I said, when you run with certain group segments up in there, you're constantly showing your paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Upon moving, moving to another yard, moving to another building, moving to another institution, all that type of things. You know what I mean? And then but most of the time you're on a level 4 yard. Most of the guys are not leaving because these are guys that got broke off. They got a long time, or life. You know what I'm saying? And then level 3, you'll see some guys leave, but it won't be that regular either. The lower the level you go, level 1, level 2, you know, there's guys leaving every day, going home. You know what I mean? Or going to another place. So that's on it, right? Oh, we already did it. Oh, we already did it. So, yeah, we already did it. Okay. So, yeah, level 1s and level 2s. People are going home every day. Level 1 is level 1 is level 1 is like it's the lowest level. You know, you got the most freedom. Also, they call it a support yard. So they got level 1 ranches, which is not really a ranch. It's just a name they use. Don't get me wrong. There are some prisons that actually have pigs and cows and stuff, or different type of animals. But for the most part, it's just name only ranch. You know what I mean? But if you're on like a E yard, that's I mean, they both do the same thing. They act as a support yard for the main prison. And they take care of everything when it comes to bedding, clothing, bedding, clothing. You know, the canteen, anything that's got to do with it. Bedding, clothing, trash, any of that stuff. The level 1 yard, the support yard, is the one that work the warehouses. They're the ones that go and stock up the main prison behind the walls. You know, they'll go into the prison, but they don't actually go onto the grounds. As far as excuse me, let me rephrase that. They go onto the grounds, but they don't go into each yard. They'll take things up to it, whatever gate or fence they got, they'll drop it, and then the workers that are assigned to that yard, and they'll come and grab, for example, the food, you know, that's going to the main kitchen. You know, they'll drop it there, or things will be delivered, and then you'll have workers there that'll pick it up. You know what I mean? Let's see the arrow this area. Yep. So, and that's called a support yard. Level 1 support yard. It'll be either a ranch or a E yard. Usually, those are the ones. That's what they usually are. A ranch or an E yard, and you usually get paid. You know, not a whole lot of money. It's called your pay number. You'll get paid a little something. It won't be a whole lot, you know, but it'll be something. If you save up a few months worth, like one time I had a job I was in the gym, level 3 gym, and I was the recycling, I think it was called recycling clerk, if I remember right. But they were giving me I was only getting 9 cents an hour. So I would literally make like about $10 a month, $12 a month. And then they would take 55% from me for my restitution that I owed. You know what I mean? So you would literally have to save up just to go 40 bucks. You'd have to save, you know, 6, 7 months. Well, let me see. Yeah, about 6, 7 months worth of your pay just to go $30. You know what I mean? So it's it doesn't pay all that well. Most of the jobs in there don't pay that much. They just it'll be like the only ones that I can think of right now that pay pretty good is when you're working. Well, fire camp's the best, but fire camp guys will go home. You know, they're fighting fires and they eat really good. And they're allowed to lift weights and stuff like that. But they'll come home sometimes with $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 that they saved up. I'm not really sure what they make an hour, but I want to say it's probably something like $1 to $2 an hour. The best paid job behind the walls in prison is IDL, inmate daily labor, and they could do all kinds of different things, actual construction to welding to digging back with the backhoe to make for plumbing and stuff like that, for pipes under the ground. And I want to say they make like I could be wrong about this because I never had that job, but I think they make upwards up to $1.10 a day. And then you could be like the associate warden clerk and make about $55, $56 a month. I think that's the best paying job that's not, like where you're really working like inmate daily labor. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's a lot of shit, man. You end up learning a lot of shit just like with anything else. You learn things no matter what it is. No matter what it is in life, you're constantly learning. We all learn things. As human beings, whatever the situation is, we learn. You know, so just like with a job or things in life, period. Huh? You turn? Just like with a job or anything in life, you learn. So same thing when you start going to prison, you start learning things. You know what this is, what that is. How do you conduct yourself? How do you do this? What do you don't do? Don't get under their eyes as far as don't bring attention to yourself. Walk the child this way. Make sure your bed's made or whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? It says it's a lot of shit you learn there too. But definitely it's for the birds. I don't want nothing, no part of it no more. I lost a lot of my life up in that place, and I'm good. Straight up. But also I got a video that's gonna drop. It was piggy. Well, put it this way. It's about no excuses. RJ, OC Shorts did a video, or actually 2 videos on Mikey Scars, saying that Mikey Scars was worse. I think the thumbnail said something like "this guy's worse than this guy," and what he meant by that was not the person himself, but worse as far as putting more guys away. But there's a few things that's not mentioned there, and that's, for one thing, Sammy was given the opportunity to pick and choose who he wanted to, rat on, and I'm not sure if this is all the way true, but because of what he ended up happening with him after they gave him the sweetest deal in U.S. history, right? 19 murders, get 5 years. He ended up messing up and, catching that other case, right? And so going back to again, he had nothing to give them now. And so he was hung to dry, so they changed some rules. And I heard other people like Dominic Sakali say that, he tried to not tell on certain people. And, the prosecutor, the U.S. ADA was like, worry about yourself, whatever. And I've heard because of Sammy, that's the reason why they stopped doing that. I don't know how true that is, but we do know that things have changed since back then in 1990 or 1991 when he decided to flip, compared to how things were in 2003, right? And so on and so forth. So, that part's not mentioned. There's another thing that's a misconception is just because there's, say, 40 guys on an indictment, right? Doesn't mean that all them 40 people know each other. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason I'm saying that, because I've seen a guy come on before bringing an indictment that he was involved in, and he's trying to prove that he knows a certain somebody. And because he's on that indictment with that person, he's trying to show that indictment from, his paperwork from the feds. And, he was on a certain show with certain people, and he's like, what does that say? And the guy that he asked starts reading off names, and one of the names he sees on there is the name that he's trying to put across that he knows. And that's not really how that works. You know what I'm saying? You can be, at some point, whatever the indictment is, they wrapped everybody up, and they put it all together, and it doesn't mean that they know each other. You know what I mean? It just means that somebody or something they did connected them. That's all that means. So you can't go off that, as far as somebody knowing somebody. Then another thing is when you're involved with a case with co-defendants, okay, your thing is, it's called a discovery pack. And what's in that discovery pack is anything that has to do with anybody that's on that indictment, anybody that has to do with the case, anything evidence-wise. So any statements, any witness statements, any evidence as far as fingerprints, pictures, surveillance, audio, wiretaps, anything like that, anything they might have found when they did the search that they believe might have been involved with. Maybe they said you were wearing certain clothing at night and they found something similar to that. They'll take pictures of it, and they'll try to, use that as evidence against you. It could be anything that has to do with evidence against you or any of your co-defendants. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that is that, there'll be something on there because supposedly from what OC Short said is that, Mikey Scars put away all these guys and he testified at more trials than anybody in U.S. history, which I'm not disputing that at all. The only part I'm saying is after hearing Michael Mikey Scars talk, he said there's some guys on there he don't know nothing about, and like, with like George the Chico, for example, they asked, they might ask him like, okay, what's your relationship, or what's his position? Oh, he's a captain. Or I met him 20 years ago. He was an associate then, or he was a maid guy. When we were running around together. Something like that. And so they'll put you down as a witness. You'll be down on a witness list. For example. And so there's a lot more to things. And some people, and this is the part I always say, man. Some people, a lot of people, they speak before they really know what they're even talking about. I'm not saying OC Shorts. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but it happens a lot of times where they can't break down certain things themselves, and they're not really always on the right track. There might be a little bit more to certain things, and they don't even know it. That's all I'm going with that. But that would seem kind of paranoid. Let's see. And so, I'll touch more on that in the video on that when it uploads. I was having some problems over here. You can put that one, Laura Wood. I was having some problems uploading some things, so. But the other thing, what is that? Oh, and that we go right or left? Huh? Straight? Oh yeah, we were over there. So that UFC 287, man, that thing was, man, I still can't get over how Israel Adesanya went in there and handled business. The way he took care of business, the way he handled that after getting beat by this guy 3 times, and he didn't change. Like, he was like, I'm gonna conquer this. And the only thing I think that he did changing wise was obviously the look he had on his face. He meant business. And secondly, the way he kept switching southpaw orthodox. He kept switching his footwork. His front foot, and and I think that had a lot to do with keeping him somewhat fresh. Because what I mean by that is, Pareto was giving him thigh kicks, giving him lower leg kicks, shin, and over again. So if you continue to stand there saying you're right and your orthodox stance, eventually that leg's going to be hard to lift up, right? It's going to be hard to move. And so he kept moving, turning, changing to, southpaw stance. Fresh, but at no time did he change anything as far as he still was against the octagon fence a few times there, and he took a few, and he was able to catch him with that overhand right, and then he hit him with that left, and then that right again, and boom, he went down. He fist punched him once. He knew he needed second one. He knew he did enough damage to win, and that was it. That was what she wrote. So that was a bad fight. And I seen yesterday, Ariel Helwani had on. He goes, it's not the same. He goes, my brain still sees it coming and still wants to throw it, but the speed, it coming back out is not, it's not the same. And he's catching punches in the meantime, So he said it was time to hang it up, but he's still going to be around. He's going to be promoting some things. I think he's promoting bare knuckle fighting and something else. I don't remember what else it was. I think it was some type of boxing too, I think. So he's going to be around, you know what I'm saying? He did, I think he did pretty well for himself for even being a, journeyman George, like asshole calls him. He still did pretty good for himself, man. And, he from going from sleeping on the couch, sleeping in his car with his dog or whatever, to now having the assets and property, and I think he has some property. He's doing pretty well for himself. He never was able to win the title, but and even to this day, at 20 years into the game, he still puts people in the seats. So you got to give him some type of props for that, Here. So definitely, Jorge Masvidal is going to be missed. A legend, no joke, type of cat. Handles business.
That's for sure. You know, him, Nate Diaz, some of these old school Latino cats, and just old school cats. Period. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of them leave the game since since a while. You know, they were there in the thick of things. You know, but also about playoffs are starting soon. I've been wanting to do a video on this for a minute on the Western Conference. You know, a lot of shakeups happen. You know, Russell Westbrook leaving the Lakers. Now I think he's in where did he go? Where did Russell Westbrook go? You know, he went to oh man, I forgot. But KD left the Nets and went to the Phoenix, and Kyrie left the Nets and went to Dallas. So that strength, in my opinion, that strengthens both those teams. You know, Dallas was in the Western Conference Finals last year. You know, so is it here?
Yeah.
So you know, I believe that they'll how can you not improve from that run? You know, I mean, I guess there's a way. You know, if they don't, you know, if Luka and him don't click in the actual games, you know, Kyrie maybe, you know what I mean? But we know what KD's about. KD, even though you know he's a number one option, you know what I mean, off on the offensive side of the ball, he you know, he still showed that he could play with the Warriors, with you know Clay and Steph, and they still were getting their shots. You know, so I think that makes Phoenix dangerous. I mean, Phoenix has been around, you know, for the last few years. You know what I mean? They've been around, and so I could see it happening. No R. See it?
Yeah.
This one too. 78, 82. This one's here. So that's all. That can't be all of it.
No, it's
Okay. 1897. No, it's good. So I know it's there. It's there. So yeah. Just definitely, you know, some boxing coming up. I forgot that fight that happened the other day. It was Fundora. He got knocked out. I mean, good too. Dude knocked him out good. He knocked him out really good. I think it was Mendoza he fought. Mendoza, I think the guy's name was. He knocked him pretty good, man. It was a clean, nice knockout. Fundura's a 6'6" guy. He knocked the shit out of him, man. Hit him with a good one, knocked him. Dude looked at the ref like, oh man, like I can't, just go ahead and call it off. I can't get up. That's what I got out of it. It looked kind of funny. He rocked the fuck out of him. You know what I mean? Dropped him 80-69, 15-69 OR. So, you know, we still got some good fights coming up. But there's still a lot of better fights. I mean, not better fights, but there's still a lot of fights that we're looking forward to getting. You know, I know Canelo's fighting John Ryder. People are clowning on that, talking shit on that, but John Ryder is his mandatory. I think he's the WBC mandatory. No, he can't be the WBC mandatory. That would be better. I don't know. He must be the WBO or IBF or WBO, IBF, or WBA mandatory. But I think David Morale would be the mandatory WBA. John Ryder, English cat. But you're always gonna have haters in the game. You know, it don't matter what it is. If it's boxing, football, basketball, if it's YouTube, if it's American bullies breeding, Frenchies, whatever it's gonna be, you're gonna have haters. You know what I mean? It's just it's inevitable. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, you know, you could just let them bounce off you. You know what I mean? That's about best you can do. They're always gonna be haters. So people are always gonna be talking shit about Canelo, and he ducked this one, he ducked that one. He shouldn't have fought Billy Joe Saunders. He should have fought this one. He shouldn't have fought Caleb Plant. He should have fought this one. But yet they're title holders. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So it is what it is, man. Some people are funny style, and we see it each and every day. You know what I mean? Each and every day we see these funny style ass cats around. coming with bullshit and or just cats. It just reminds me of a alley cat coming to you and being cool because they want you to feed them, and as soon as you feed them, they're they laughing and getting away where it is. You know what I mean? Sucker, because they got you for the kill. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But it's funny. It's funny. These people that swear to this or that. They'll do this. They'll do that. They'll do this. They'll do that. It just never stops. Rangewood, RA, the other way. It just never stops with the attacks, with the threats. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Rangewood. It's Rangewood. Yeah, I gotta get on the ball, peoples. I got a couple guests I'm gonna be having on. I'm gonna bring Mikey Jr. back on. We're gonna do some boxing videos, some more boxing videos, but then we're also gonna touch on some Frankie DeChico stuff because, like, if you guys don't know, those are actually his family members. His grandfather's or grandmother's a DeChico, and his grandfather's a Fapiano, but he has also another uncle, Fapiano, that married another auntie, DeChico. 1547 Noir, 1543 Noir. So he wants to speak on some of the stuff that he knows firsthand from, I can't see that one, 39, from things I think conversations he had with some of the Chico family members. I don't know if it was Georgie or his son or if it was Butter, Joe DeChico Butter. I don't know if it was from him, but he has he like I said, those are his family. So, from what he's gonna speak on what he knows as far as like what conversations he's had with other people in his family about Frankie and that situation that happened with him, unfortunately, back in '86 when he got killed. Let's see. So he wants to speak about that and maybe perhaps talk about some other things that has to do with his life. And then I have another guest that I already touched bases with, just with working and everything so far. I just haven't figured out when to have extra time to do it or what day to do it. But it's been kind of rough working because I'm constantly driving a lot of miles. Like yesterday, 150 miles. Same thing the day before. And then the day before that was actually Friday was 200 miles. This is on there. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Is it? Trestle. Turn it again. Yeah, so we'll get to that. And he's in the military, Army. I was gonna say Army veteran, but he's still going. He's still in there. He's been in there like 20 years at least now. Since I'm about a year or maybe 2 years older than him, but I think I'm just about a year older. Might be 2. But his dad and my brother were good friends. And so we're not gonna talk politics at all. Because I don't even think, for one, he's not even allowed to speak on politics. So we're just gonna basically say like what his initial reasoning was, why he went to the military. What got him to go, what was his initial plans? Was it just a one and done, sign up for one tour, one tour of duty? And I know. So is that one we just passed? What was his plans, and what does he do MOS wise, his job, military occupational status, actually I don't know what that S stands for. MOS, military occupational, I think it's status. Talk
talk about that. Talk about maybe what he's seen and overseas. He spent a lot of time in Europe. Now he's back in the States. I think he's in Texas. So we'll cover some things, but we won't get into like politics stuff on policies or borders or any of that stuff. I believe he had to even check in with his advocate's office, to find out if it was okay first, because I told him that we weren't going to speak politics, and first he said, I don't think I can talk politics, and I sent him a message. I said, no politics. 1392, never mind. So we'll have him coming on. At some point. They all look like 94s and 32s. So we'll have him come on as well. And then, I reached out to a few breeders to see if they will come on. And, one got back to me. He said, yeah, but his internet's been giving him issues. He moved and now he's in the country area in another state. So he hasn't even been making videos because, he's been having problems with the Wi-Fi. Yeah. So lane now. So, so we got some guests coming on here. Like I said, I just got to figure out when to have them on, probably be sometime soon. Definitely sometime soon, probably next week or two. Hopefully in the next week or two, I'll be able to have my army friend and also Mikey come on, hopefully a couple of times within a couple of weeks, if not 3, we'll figure out which days to have them come on, what I'm saying? Maybe we'll mix it up. Maybe we'll go boxing, his personal life, and then, some stories and things you've heard of family members, because he's got a lot of family in that life, what I'm saying? Legendary names, that go way back, so it is what it is. And so I wanna touch up on that, and then also get in the scene, because all I've been really thinking about sports-wise is boxing and UFC, MMA. I haven't really been talking baseball or baseball just kicking off. I mean by baseball is the profiles I haven't finished yet on the players from the 80s that stuck out to me. I went for football, basketball, baseball, boxing, pro wrestling, you know what I mean? So we'll get to all those too. I got them. I already got the. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap on out. Appreciate everybody for stopping in. This is just a little short one to get something there. I want to cover all my basis on the 3 areas that you can upload, shorts, are 1274, sports, not sports, excuse me, shorts, pre-records and live streams. So that's what this live stream for is now. Like I said, I got a couple shorts to upload that I took yesterday. And then I got a video or 2 that'll be dropping today too. I just got to upload the one, and the other one I'll probably record it after work. So with that being said, you already know, Big Lou tapping on out, 1322 Noir.